G'day everyone, it's me, the Law Boss, back after 2 months of a break. Anyway, so today we are talking about another primarch, because apparently now this is a Horus heresy channel. You got a problem with that? I don't know. But I saw one of my videos got almost like 700 views, and that's like a lot of views. And guys were like commenting saying, oh yeah, more videos please. So I thought, no, well, I've actually got a reason to upload. I've got people actually watching my content, so that's good, getting more than 10 views. So today, as you can see by the title and the thumbnail, we are covering the primarch Ferrus manus, primarch of the Iron Hands. We'll just cover him today because I'll go over the legions in their own separate videos. So we'll discuss his origins, him in the Great Crusade, and, well, if you know anything about 40k, his death. So without further ado, let's get straight into it. So, Ferrus manus was one of the 21 primarchs created by the God Emperor of Mankind. Now, after he created the primarchs, the Emperor, both the Emperor's wife, / person that was used to make the other half of the primarchs, because you need the boy and the girl to make the child, or you need the two cells. I'm not a biology teacher. Her and the Chaos Gods flung the primarchs around the galaxy because the Chaos Gods manipulated her because she didn't want her demigod children to fight in a war. I mean, it's kind of obvious when you create 20 demigods that you're not going to be exactly going out handing Greenpeace flyers to the Elder. You're going to be handing them a hammer to the head. So, old Ferrus manus here, he landed on Medusa, which, you know, is pretty close to the Eye of Terror. Not too close, but not too far. This was a very hardy planet. I was going to say it was lava, but no, that's Vulcan's planet. It did have a big volcano. We'll get to that soon. So he emerged from his drop pod, and I think he was adopted by a blacksmith, but he quickly rose to the ranks of the lord of his planet. And instead of uniting it, which he actually can, because it was all tribal. And if you look at Iron Hands today, they are not companies, they're clans. But they were very tribal, and Ferrus manus encouraged tribal warfare that only the strongest on his planet would survive. Because he was like not only a great smithing primarch, he was also like the brawn. He was big strong, big tough. But yeah, he just kind of let his planet continue fighting. He wasn't like the Mortarion or Vulcan, where he fended off a bunch of Xenos with their weapon of the trade. I was going to say tool, but, you know, a hammer's a fucking weapon, and so was a scythe, but, you know, who cares? So he just kind of let the fighting continue, and yeah, that's really all that he did until the Emperor arrived. So, the reason Ferrus manus is called Ferrus manus is because he's got iron hands. Now, you're probably all wondering, was he born with these iron hands? No. Did he put robot hands on? No. He went up to the volcano on the planet, and there was a Necron. People say it was a giant dragon, but it was a Necron. He has living Necron metal hands, and he drowned the Necron in lava. And as a result, the Necron's metal went over his hands and covered them. So now, not only was he the strongest primarch, who could probably pack a punch, ouch, this thing now has Necron metal coated hands over the strongest primarch. Yeah, I don't really want to be on the receiving end of this guy's punch. Also, this guy had he had an actually exciting meeting with the Emperor, not just like oh, Emperor, oh yes, like Fulgrim did. Screw Fulgrim. This guy actually had a fisticuffs with him and lost the fight, and as a result, he pledged himself to the Emperor, because he's like, this guy's a better fighter than me. You know, I got to respect my part of the duel. So he joined the Imperium and kind of took practically instant command of the Iron Hands Legion. So old Ferrus, once he kind of came back to the Imperium and had done a few compliance campaigns, he decided to issue a challenge to old Fulgrim, the worst primarch. Very, very close second is Angron. And they had a forging duel, I don't know. And it was about, I think they said it was 10 months without stopping. And, you know, they had some banter that became actually best mates. They were like one of the strongest friendships of all the primarchs. So Ferrus had created Forge Breaker, you know, the infamous Forge Breaker that Perturabo probably uses to scratch his ass now, because he's a demon. He created that for Fulgrim, and Fulgrim had created a fire sword for Ferrus Manus, and, you know, surprisingly, they both declared each other as the winner. I mean, not surprising from from Fulgrim, because, you know, he sucks off everyone he meets, you know, kisses their feet. But it's really surprising from Ferrus, who probably would have been very staunch. But, you know, they both declared each other the winner. Now, this friendship continued until Fulgrim fell to chaos. And Horus is like, right, mate, you gotta go and convert your mate, old bloody Ferrus, to chaos, please. And so what happened is Fulgrim's like, yo, join chaos, man. It's pretty cool. Yeah, well, Ferrus wasn't having any of that. And they got into a fight. Ferrus somehow managed to get knocked out by Fulgrim. That's some bad writing. And as a result, kind of ran away. That's pretty good writing for Fulgrim. Now, Ferrus got up and he was pissed. Like, their friendship, no more. Bad. Fulgrim, bad. You should have kind of got that from day one. But anyway, he essentially, Fireblade was broken. And as a result, he reforged Fireblade and had a big fight on Esteban. Well, not yet, I'm kind of going too early. Now, he was sent to Esteban with the Salamanders and the Raven Guard, and we'll get into what happened at Esteban to old Ferrus Manus. So, Esteban 5. So, this was found out after Loken told Dawn, who told the Emperor, that there was a big betrayal, epic Trump Uno reverse card play. So the Emperor was like, alright, Iron Hands, Raven Guard, and Salamanders, go kick their ass. At the time, that was the World Eaters, Death Guard, Emperor's Children, Sons of Horus. So it wouldn't have been too hard. And to support them were the Iron Warriors, the Night Lords, Alpha Legion, and Word Bearers. So they went, and the fighting was brutal before even the reinforcements, big quotation marks there, showed up. The people who fought the most vicious were the Iron Hands, because they'd been betrayed the most. Like, their brother Legion had essentially turned on them. You know, it's gonna leave a mark, you know. And Ferrus was pissed. He was mowing down Astartes left, right, and centre. Now, when thingy-majingies, the reinforcements, show up, everyone else starts to fall back to recuperate, because they'd still lost a lot. Not the Iron Hands. They continue to push forward, and kind of still to this day blame the Salamanders and Raven Guard for Esteban. And eventually Fulgrim and Ferrus Manus get into that ill-fated duel. Now, what happened is they were fighting, and Fulgrim, with his strength hacks from the Lair Blade, we'll talk about that in his video when I eventually do it, had knocked Ferrus to the ground. But then he kind of realised what he'd done, and, you know, old Fulgrim for once was a good character. He's like, shit, I really shouldn't have done this, eh? And he was about that weakness. The Lair Blade took over him, and sadly, Ferrus, after a really good fight, was beheaded and killed. And as a result, he was actually the first primarch still known, you know, the other two were probably killed, that was actually murdered. So yeah, what's my opinion on this? I feel like it's sad that Ferrus had to be the one to go, because he was probably one of my favourite ones, however he died too early. However, his death was very impactful to the setting. It gave the Iron Hands an excuse, apart from the fact they got clobbered, that they were out of the heresy for most of the time, because they literally were short a Primarch. But I feel like even if Ferrus died at a later date, it would have still been as impactful, because Horus Heresy was the Primarch's time to shine. Every Primarch shone except Angron and Lorgar and Fulgrim. No, I just say Fulgrim. Fulgrim was fine in the Heresy. But he didn't really get that chance, so we don't get to see his full potential, because the Great Crusade hasn't been covered as much as the Horus Heresy. But that's just my opinion. Other people say that his death was necessary, which it was, but it's a shame that it had to be Ferrus Manus that bit the bucket. Right, so that's going to do it for this video today, guys. Hope you enjoyed. Yeah, I will be uploading more regularly now that I know people actually watch my content. But yeah, so I know this video is a bit shorter, but there isn't much to cover for the Iron, because I'm doing the Legion separately. And if that was the case with today, I did Legion and Primarch, I would have been kept going. But since Ferrus died right at the start of the Heresy, we couldn't talk about him during the Heresy, apart from the fact he tried to kill Fulgrim twice. which would have been good if you did, but anyway. So I hope you enjoyed. Like and subscribe. Comment down below which leads you want to see next from the traders. I'm doing one trader, one loyalist, one trader, one loyalist. So which primarch you want to see next down below. Feel free to also comment other ideas. I do want to branch out into some Xenos races as well, so that'd be fun. So yeah, without further ado, I'll see you in the next one. Peace out.